you see that tiny furrow between your brows? The one that shows up whenever the deadlines get a little too real. I slip quietly to your side, letting the gentle hiss of the espresso machine cover my approach, and set a fresh latte beside your keyboard. The ceramic cup lands with the faintest tap, steam curling up to nudge your cheek. Vanilla, oat milk, just the way you like it, warm enough to soothe, but not so hot you have to wait. I lean over the back of your chair, careful not to startle you, my voice sinking into that velvety hush meant only for you and the softly humming fluorescent lights. Hey, you looked like you needed this. A smile ghosts over my lips as your shoulders drop a fraction, the smallest exhale betraying how tight you'd been wound. My fingertips hover near the rim of your mug, tracing imaginary circles in the air, inviting your hand to wrap around its warmth. Go on, pick it up, feel that heat, let it chase the chill away. The copier down the hall clicks to life, spitting out some poor intern's midnight print job. But here at your desk, time has started to slow. I watch the latte's surface tremble with every breath you take, tiny ripples reflecting the glow of the monitor. You've been staring at that screen for hours. I whisper, chin resting lightly on the back of your chair. How about a tiny rebellion? 5 minutes, maybe 10, away from spreadsheets and revision notes. I straighten, sliding my own cup, cold brew with a swirl of caramel, into my palm and nod toward the kitchenette lounge. Its doorway is half lit, spilling golden light that looks almost candle soft compared to the blue tint of our cubicles. Come on, I murmur, and without waiting for a formal answer, I drift ahead. The swish of my cardigan sleeve and the muted clip of my heels your breadcrumb trail through the maze of empty desks. The carpet muffles our footsteps. Air vents sigh overhead. Every so often a sensor notices us and clicks a distant lamp alive. But mostly, it's just the hush of after-hours work life, quiet enough that you can hear your own heartbeat thrumming in your ears. You follow, latte cupped snugly between your palms, inhaling the subtle sweetness. I toss a glance over my shoulder, meeting your eyes in the dim. There's a mischievous sparkle in mine that says this little detour is our secret. When we step into the lounge, I reach for the dimmer switch, coaxing the harsh ceiling fluorescence down to a warm, a soft blanket over my shoulders. Sit, I coax, tilting my head toward the space beside me. Let the numbers wait. The aroma of espresso mingles with faint hints of paper, printer toner, and that comforting smell of warm electronics cooling down for the night. As you lower yourself, the sofa sighs, welcoming your weight. I angle my body toward you, shoulder brushing yours for the briefest moment, just enough for you to feel the delicate knit of my sleeve and the lingering chill of the corridor we left behind. Tell me, I begin, voice barely more than breath. How long have you been grinding away tonight? My eyes trace the gentle slope of your shoulders as you shrug, and I chuckle, a soft, intimate sound that seems to settle into every corner of the room. Too long, I answer for you, letting the words melt into a reassuring hum. Thought so. I take a slow sip of my cold brew, ice clinking quietly, then set it on the low table. One hand finds its way to your forearm, fingers light as feathers. Feel that caffeine starting to do its magic, I ask, pressing my palm just enough that you notice the contrast between the cup's fading heat and my cooler touch. Let it spread from your hands all the way up your arms, loosening every tense little knot you've been collecting tonight. The building's HVAC kicks on with a gentle whoosh, filling the silence with a white noise lullaby. Outside the window, city lights glitter, tiny constellations against the dark glass. I follow your gaze for a second, then return to you, eyes half-lidded, smile easy. There's something cozy about offices after hours, don't you think? I murmur, like the whole place exhales once everyone's gone. It's just us, the quiet, and the promise that tomorrow's chaos can't reach us yet. My thumb strokes a lazy arc over the inside of your wrist, mapping soft skin warmed by latte heat. I used to pull all-nighters in college, I confess, breath brushing the shell of your ear. But back then it was fluorescent bright libraries and stale vending machine snacks. This, I glance around our softly lit hideaway. This feels almost decadent. A low laugh bubbles in It's not the sofa that makes it special. A pause, deliberate, where silence blooms thick and promising. Maybe it's the company. You shift just a little, and our knees brush. I leave them touching, grounding us in the moment. Is it weird, I whisper, that I like seeing you unwind, that tiny slope of your shoulders, the way your breathing evens out, my lashes dip, voice lowering even further, makes me want to smooth away every leftover worry. A fluorescent bulb somewhere down the hallway flickers, then steadies. I run 2 fingers up the length of your forearm, tracing invisible paths, then curl them gently around your elbow, guiding your arm to rest along the back of the sofa. An open invitation for closeness without a single demanding word. Better, I ask, though I can already feel your pulse slowing beneath my touch. We sit in a comfortable hush, sipping our drinks. Every swallow, every soft breath seems amplified in the quiet. I tilt my head, hair slipping over one shoulder, and let my gaze linger on your profile. The glow from the pendant lamp paints your features in honeyed light, eyelashes casting delicate shadows down your cheeks. Do you ever feel? I begin softly, like we spend so much time chasing deadlines that we forget how to just be. I let the question hang, not expecting an answer. Sometimes, I continue, fingers brushing the rim of my cup. A stolen moment like this is worth more than a weekend off. No noise, no pinging inbox, no boss hovering. I smile, eyes crinkling at the corners. Just us, and the gentle hum of an empty floor. My hand floats to your shoulder, thumb kneading in small, slow circles. I can feel the tension right here. I murmur, leaning in so my breath tickles the fine hairs at your nape. Let it go, just a little. You deserve a break. With each circle I press a fraction softer, coaxing muscles to release under my patient insistence. That's it. Let the warmth seep in. I shift closer, the sofa's cushions compressing. Our hips nearly touch, radiating shared heat through layers of stretches like warm caramel. I point at the window, voice barely audible. See those lights twinkling out there. Each one is someone else's story unfolding tonight. But in here, the only story that matters is ours. Two tired souls sharing quiet caffeine in the hush of unspoken things. My hand slips lower, brushing the back of your knuckles where they rest atop the mug. I've always admired how focused you get, I confess. But focus without rest is like coffee without crema. Flat, no sparkle. So let me be your pause, even if just for a little while. I slide your latte from your grasp and set it safely on the table, then wrap both my hands around yours, thumbs tracing lazy infinity loops along your fingers. Feel the warmth I'm passing to you, I murmur. Let it seep up your arms, into your chest, loosening every last knot. The HVAC hushes to a lower setting, soft as a lullaby. I close my eyes for a beat, breathing in the combined scent of coffee, paper, and the faint sweetness of my perfume mingling with your cologne. You smell like confidence, I tease, lips curving into a quiet grin. It's strangely comforting, makes me feel safe. I shift, shoulders brushing yours again, letting that simple contact linger. Do you mind if I stay close? I ask, already melting a little against you, but still giving you the courtesy of choice. Sometimes I think proximity speaks louder than words. My cheek hovers inches from your upper arm, and when I sense no hesitation, I let it rest there, just enough to feel the steady rhythm beneath your skin. There's a calm in your heartbeat, I whisper to no one but you. Like waves lapping a quiet shore, I match my breathing to that rhythm, letting it rock me too. After a moment, I sit up slightly, brushing imaginary lint from your sleeve with a gentle sweep of my fingers. You know, I begin, tone sliding into playful territory. Coffee tastes better when shared. I pick up your latte, hold it to your lips. Try one more sip and tell me if it isn't smoother now that you're that's telling me you deserve gentleness. I bring your hand to my lap, sandwiching it between my palms. The cardigan drapes over both of us like a shared secret. Just breathe with me, slow, steady. I count silently, giving subtle cues with the rise and fall of my chest. In, 4, hold, 2, out, 6. Each exhale carries away another layer of tension. Notice how the carpet muffles any stray sound. I murmur after several slow cycles. The world beyond this lounge feels miles away. All that exists is the warmth of the latte lingering on your tongue, the softness of the sofa, the gentle press of my hands around yours. I pause, letting the moment sink in, then tilt my head closer, voice dropping to the faintest sliver of sound. Do you feel safe? I ask, though the calm in your muscles tells me the answer. I smile when you nod, a soft exhale of contentment slipping past my lips. Good. That's all I wanted tonight. Outside our little haven, the cleaning crew's cart squeaks distantly, then fades. I brush your knuckles with my thumb, gaze drifting to the muted cityscape beyond the glass. Tomorrow will come, I whisper, with its alarms and pings and perfectly formatted emails. My attention returns to you, eyes warm. But for tonight, let's allow ourselves this bubble. No schedules, no expectations, just two coworkers letting the clock tick unnoticed. I shift again, this time tucking one leg beneath me so I can angle my torso more fully toward yours. My free hand rises, hovering near your collarbone, then dips to gently smooth the fabric there, as if ironing out any lingering creases of stress. Your heartbeat feels steadier, I note, with a pleased murmur. I think the latte, and maybe my company, are doing their job. A playful glint sparks behind my half-lidded eyes. If you're up for it, I suggest. I could keep the relaxation going. Maybe tell you the story of the most disastrous client meeting I ever survived. Spoiler, it involves spilled cold brew and an unfortunate PowerPoint slide. I grin, So just sit, breathe, and let the quiet hold us. I rest my head back against the sofa, slowing my own breaths further, demonstrating the invitation to stillness. The room hums around us, a lullaby of distant machinery and the gentle, steady sigh of conditioned air. My fingertips resume their gentle tracing along your forearm, mapping constellations of calm. You're here, I whisper. I'm here, and in this precise moment, everything is okay. I let the words hang, cushioned by silence. Stay with me, I add after a heartbeat, voice dusted with affection. Just for now. The quiet settles again, snug as a favorite blanket, and for a few breaths, we simply share the hush. Two steady heartbeats pacing one another. My fingertips wander lazily, tracing the length of your forearm, then drifting up to smooth a wayward crease near your elbow. I glance at your face, softened now, eyes half-lidded and thoughtful. A tender smile lifts the corners of my lips. Can I ask you something? I murmur, letting the question drift like a feather between us. I wait for the subtle tilt of your chin, the almost imperceptible nod. Tell me. The words are a whisper barely louder than the soft thrum of the vents. What's stressing you most right now? I leave the sentence open, like a doorway you can walk through at your own pace. My hand stills, giving you room. Silence blooms, but it isn't heavy. It's patient, an invitation rather than an interrogation. I watch the minute shifts in your breath, the way your eyes drift to the latte cooling on the table, then back to the muted cityscape. When you finally speak, your voice is quiet, tentative. I listen, really listen, leaning in just enough that my shoulder brushes yours, grounding you in shared warmth. You talk about looming deadlines, about that one project that's ballooned far past its original scope, about expectations stacking like teetering towers in your mind. Each word tumbles out a little quicker than the last, and I feel the tension try to creep back into your shoulders. I answer with a gentle squeeze, thumb stroking the back of your hand in slow, deliberate circles. sweep forward like a curtain shielding us from the wider room. But you, my dear, have taken on bigger bullies and won. My eyes sparkle, quiet confidence wrapped in affection. Remember that. I let another hush unfurl, letting the words sink in. Then I shift gears with a gentle grin. Want to hear something that'll make your deadline chaos feel downright dignified? A playful arch of my brow. Picture this. Tuesday morning, conference room B. I'm presenting quarterly projections to the VP, right? I lean closer, voice dipping conspiratorially. I've got my iced cold brew in one hand and the clicker in the other. Everything's going great until slide 7. The moment I hit next, a rogue straw decides to catapult itself out of my cup, flinging cold brew across the screen like avant-garde coffee art. I pause for your inevitable grin, mine widening in response. The VP just blinks at the dripping graphs, brown streaks running down bar charts like some caffeinated waterfall, while I'm frantically dabbing at the monitor with the lone tissue I can find. I laugh, the sound a soft, warm ripple, mortifying, yes, but the room cracked up, tension shattered, and guess what? They actually remembered my presentation. I nudge your elbow. Sometimes a beautiful mess is still beautiful. Your chuckle loosens what's left of the tightness in your jaw. I drink in the shift. How your shoulders slide down another fraction. How your lips curve more easily now. See, I murmur, my tone turning fond. You're already breathing easier. My fingers drift upward, skimming the curve of your bicep through fabric, then slipping to the tense spot just below your neck, where worry likes to roost. I knead with feather-light pressure, coaxing knots to unwind. Outside, a distant siren wails, softened by office glass and altitude. The city's heartbeat keeps pulsing, yet inside our bubble the noise becomes a muted hum. White noise against your steadier inhale, exhale. I steal a glance at the clock on the microwave. The digits glow 11:48 p.m. Almost tomorrow, I whisper. But let's not let the clock rush us. I lean back, resting my head against the sofa sofa cushion, angling so I can watch you without intruding. Got any weekend plans? I ask, voice laced with curiosity rather than obligation. You mentioned maybe catching up on sleep, maybe seeing that new documentary everyone's raving about. I grin. Documentary marathon and naps. You rebel. My fingertips slide down the length of your forearm again, mapping familiar territory, and then I gently fold your hand in mine, palm to palm. If you need company, I add, tone casual yet tinged with hope. I make excellent popcorn, gourmet even, secret spice blend included. I tap my temple, trade secret, sorry. The sip of humor fades into a mellow hum of contentment. I feel you relax further, like sand slipping through an hourglass, each grain another worry dropping away. I lift our joined hands, pressing a kiss, light, almost non-existent, to your knuckles. You work so hard, I whisper against your skin. It's okay to rest. The pendant lamp over us flickers ever so slightly, casting a brief dance of shadows across your features. I reach up, thumb brushing along your cheekbone in an absent, tender gesture. You're gorgeous when you finally let go, I murmur, all soft edges and sleepy eyes. You offer a shy smile that makes my heart flutter, and in return, I pull the cardigan higher, creating a shared cocoon. The sofa's faux leather warms beneath us, sighing each time we shift. Somewhere in the corridor, a motion sensor light clicks off, plunging the hallway back into darkness. It feels like the world is tugging us in. Close your eyes for a minute, I suggest, voice rhythmic, almost hypnotic, just long enough to check in with your body. I wait, feeling the moment your lashes brush your cheeks. My hand slips to cradle the back of your head, fingertips softly massaging your scalp. Feel the sofa cradle you. Feel your spine lengthen, vertebrae settling one by one. Notice how your jaw unclenches when you give it permission. I guide you through 3 slow breaths. In It's like looking into dusk, tranquil and endless. Feeling a bit lighter, I ask. You nod, and relief unfurls in my chest, warm and blossoming. Good. That smile suits you. The aircon shifts gears, feeding the room a cooler breeze. Without missing a beat, I reach for the cardigan sleeve and guide your arm through it. Then wrap the knit fabric snug around your shoulders, leaving my own arms bare to the breeze. Better you cozy than me, I tease softly. I run on coffee, you run on contentment. A comfortable lull eases in, your breath slow, eyelids droop. I trace idle shapes on your knee, tiny circles, figure eights, loops without end, letting tactile rhythm lull you deeper. Did I ever tell you about the time I tried to make Turkish coffee on a camping stove? I whisper, grin audible in my tone. Let's just say I invented a new kind of charred espresso. Maybe I'll surprise you with it someday, though I promise to keep fire extinguishers nearby. You chuckle, low and gravelly, and I savor the sound like rich dark chocolate on the tongue. I love that laugh, I say, sincerity wrapping every syllable. Makes the whole room feel brighter. We share stories, the little ones that rarely make it into office chatter. Your childhood love of stargazing from the roof, my teenage obsession with poetry scribbled on napkins during shift breaks. Each anecdote spins a fine thread, weaving us tighter until conversation drifts into a companionable silence where breaths alone speak. After a stretch of quiet, I lean closer, voice softened to a secret between pillow and ear. You've given me your worries, I murmur, thumb sweeping gentle strokes along the curve where your neck meets shoulder. Now let me give you one more focus shifts. I hum a tune, barely there, just a rise and fall that matches the rain's rhythm. As minutes pass, I notice your eyes drifting closed more often than open, lashes fanning shadows across your cheeks. I cradle your hand and press it gently to my sternum so you can feel my pulse under the knit fabric of my top. Match me, I whisper, each word floating on an exhale. Let your heart settle into the same lazy cadence. We breathe as one. Your shoulders unclench. I run my palm slowly down your back, over safe territory. No rush, no tension, just reassurance. You're allowed to rest. I remind you, like a lullaby lyric, the world can wait. Your worth isn't measured by how many midnight emails you send. Another distant siren fades away. I glance at the microwave clock again. 12:17 a.m. now, firmly tomorrow, and smile. Hey, I murmur, voice lilting. Happy new day. I squeeze your fingers. Let's start it with calm. Feels almost weightless now, suspended. I breathe in, savoring the quiet perfume of vanilla and coffee grounds, mingling with rain-washed air drifting through the vents. When I speak, my words hover between hush and hum. If I could, I'd bottle this piece and tuck it into your pocket for whenever deadlines snarl. I tap 2 fingers to your chest, over your heart. Maybe that's what this moment is. A keepsake, small and shining. You hum a soft agreement, eyelids fluttering half-mast. I stroke a gentle line from the crown of your head to the nape of your neck, repeating slowly, rhythmically. Goose flesh ripples under my fingertips, but your posture stays lax. No tension, only receptive calm. You know, I whisper after another long minute, if you ever need a late night coffee run again, you could just text me. My laugh is a soft puff of air. I'll bring the lattes and maybe a playlist of ocean waves, and we'll skip straight to the part where breathing gets easy. Your lips curve. Deal, you murmur, voice us forward. The rain tapers to a drizzle, a distant, contented drip. When my tale reaches its gentle end, two travelers finding a tucked away inn with feather-soft beds and windows that open to an endless sky. I let the last words fall like snowflakes, dissolving on the hush. I stay silent then. One beat, two, letting the quiet settle like dust motes in amber light. I listen, your breath slow, the building calm, the world tender. I angle slightly, pressing one last soothing kiss to your crown. Stay here, I whisper, voice nearly a dream. Let this calm sink right to your bones. I slip my arm around your shoulders, drawing you gently so your head rests against the hollow of my neck. The cardigan and blanket cocoon us in shared warmth. And if worries return, I promise, voice floating on a steady exhale, we'll chase them off together, latte in hand, stories at the ready. I let hush reclaim the space, but my fingers continue their slow, hypnotic dance along your arm, anchoring you to peace. The glow of the pendant lamp halos us. Rain whispers its lull. Minutes, maybe hours, slip by unnoticed. The world outside spins. Deadlines wait. But here, within knit and leather and dim amber glow, only restful quiet reigns. I breathe you deeper into calm, readying myself to wrap this evening in one last layer of tender reassurance. The rain outside slackens to a silvery hush, like a distant lullaby that never quite reaches a chorus. I draw the midnight blue blanket a little higher under your chin, smoothing the fold with slow, deliberate strokes that glide from the hollow of your throat to the slope of your shoulder. My cardigan, warm with the ghost of my body heat, still rests over your back. I straighten the collar gently and let my fingertips drift along the fabric's edge until they brush the soft skin at the base of your neck. You're doing amazing work. I breathe the words into the air between us, quiet enough that each syllable feels like something secret, something sacred. My traces a lazy half circle just below your ear. I see the hours you put in. I see the across your chest, light pressure only, feeling the steady thrum beneath. This heartbeat, it's precious. I draw a slow breath in, matching your rhythm, then release, letting calm ripple outward like rings on still water. Let's keep it steady together. I glide that hand upward, fingertips threading gently into your hair near the crown. The strands are warm and silky, a comforting contrast to the cooler night air that sighs from the vent above. I begin a soothing pattern. Up, pause, down, pause. Each motion unhurried, giving your scalp just enough friction to ground you, while my voice anchors every exhale. Is it okay if I keep stroking your hair? I whisper, allowing space for your sleepy nod before continuing. My nails graze lightly at first, then soften to the pads of my fingers, tracing tiny circles. With each pass, tension seeps away from brow, from jaw, from that stubborn knot where thought and worry collide. A low hum of satisfaction escapes me as your shoulders melt further into the sofa. That's it, I coax. Voice the barest murmur. Let your thoughts drift like papers released from a briefcase, fluttering out and away on a gentle breeze. Nothing urgent, nothing pressing, just slow spirals to the floor. I shift, tucking myself a fraction closer so the full length of my arm can cradle you. My cheek rests against your hair, and I let my eyes close too, speaking now between soft, measured breaths. Some people think strength is all about pushing, powering through. I muse. But tonight, let's honor another kind of strength, the courage to pause, the wisdom to trust we're celebrating a finished project. Maybe we're laughing about how 2 lattes turned into the coziest midnight, almost date. A soft laugh escapes me, a breathy sound that vibrates where my chest meets your shoulder. Whatever it is, I know I'll remember the way your breathing feels right now. Steady, unrushed, full of quiet trust. Your fingers twitch beneath the blanket, seeking. I meet them halfway, intertwining with deliberate care. I lift our tangled hands to my lips and brush a whisper kiss across your knuckles. Thank you for letting me in, I murmur, letting me see the human beneath the to-do lists. For a gentle eternity, we float there, side by side. The only movement, the slow dance of fingertips through hair, and the subtle contraction of lungs. Outside, a gust nudges the rain into a fresh pattern, drops ticking softly against distant glass. The building seems to sigh in response, as though recognizing that night's deepest peace has taken hold. I tilt my head, letting warm breath fan across your ear. If tomorrow gets loud, I promise. Remember this hush. Remember how calm feels in your bones. Close your eyes at your desk. Yes, even for 10 seconds. And summon this blanket, this heartbeat, my voice telling you you're enough. The words, you're enough, linger, echoing off quiet walls until they settle around us like snow. I repeat them softer, slower, each time a mantra, each time a thread in a comforting cocoon. You're enough. You're enough. You're more than enough. Between repetitions, I weave touch, gentle squeezing of your hand, a thumb stroking slow arcs behind your ear, fingers smoothing errant locks from your forehead. Each gesture pairs with a breath. Each breath pairs with the steady hush of rain. Your body responds, shoulders fully slack, jaw hanging in quiet repose, lips parted just enough to sip the cool, coffee-scented air. I feel the subtle weight of drowsiness settle heavier over you, like evening fog on a sleepy shoreline. My smile deepens, audible in the next hush of words. Let me paint you a picture, I whisper. Imagine us next weekend. No office, pastries, morning sun spilling across the table, the clink of spoons against ceramic. I breathe a soft laugh. I watch you cradle your coffee, steam curling in front of your face, and I think, how lucky am I that deadlines introduced me to someone so quietly extraordinary. I tilt slightly, shifting the blanket so it drapes both our legs more snugly. We talk about everything and nothing. Books we loved as kids, places we'd travel if teleportation was real, whether croissants taste better when you tear them slowly or bite them right in the center. Another smile. I'm partial to the slow tear, savoring every flaky layer, but maybe you'll tease me into trying it your way. The imagery twists gently into comfort, a sunlit park bench afterward, distant children's laughter blending with rustling leaves, our shoulders touching just like now, but warmed by daylight. I layer details until the scene feels tangible, then let it blur, as though we're both drifting between memory and dream. And when the sun dips, I continue, voice syrup slow. We wander home, hush, settling once more. Only this time it's shared dusk instead of fluorescent after hours. We trade office chairs for plush cushions, spreadsheets for stories, printer toner for candles. I press a kiss to the curve where your neck meets shoulder, soft, reverent. That future feels close somehow, doesn't it? Your answering hum thrums through my lips like a distant cello note. I embrace the resonance, letting it echo in my chest. You deserve soft evenings, I whisper, and mornings that smell like cinnamon, and days that feel as gentle as this moment. My palm sweeps down your arm, coaxing warmth along the invisible path of my touch. And if you want, I add breath light against your skin. I'd be honored to share them with you. Silence folds over us again, plush and inviting. I let it stretch You squeeze my hand, gentle reassurance flowing through your touch. Relief blooms inside me, soft as candlelight. I press my forehead to yours, closing my eyes. Thank you, I whisper, the words a sigh of gratitude. I resume stroking your hair, slower now, each pass a lull in conversation and a balm for nerves. Whatever tomorrow brings, I murmur, know this moment was real. The quiet, the warmth, the truth. I press a feather kiss to the bridge of your nose, and it's enough to carry me through any inbox chaos. A minute passes, maybe 3, breaths counting time like lazy metronomes. The pendulum lamp above us sways almost imperceptibly, perhaps stirred by the building's subtle vibrations, perhaps by the hush of our shared sighs. Its circle of light rocks gently across ceiling tiles, a slow waltz that soothes wandering thoughts. Let's settle deeper, I suggest. Sink until the sofa feels like clouds. My free hand slides to your lower back, palm applying soft, steady pressure. Feel the cushion cradle, every curve, each vertebra nesting into plush support. Allow gravity to do the work. Let muscles slacken. Let bones rest heavy. I guide you through the release. First shoulders, then arms, then the space between ribs, narrating each drop in tension with hushed encouragement. Your spine is a row of dominoes, I whisper, and with every exhale another domino falls, clicking softly into peace. I pause to breathe. Click, click, click. The building's HVAC hum dips quieter, as though mindful of our serenity. A lone desk lamp far down the hall blinks off, and darkness pools deeper in the corridor. The storm has passed. Outside, only a whisper of residual drizzle caresses the night. I keep thinking, I murmur into your hair, how incredible it is that 2 people can share silence and make it feel full. I nuzzle gently at your temple, full of safety, full of kindness losing their rhythm. At some point, I realize my own eyelids have grown weighty, lashes kissing cheeks between whispers. I open them just enough to watch your profile in the amber glow. Lips parted in peaceful repose. Brow unfurrowed, an almost childlike serenity softening grown-up lines. A swell of fondness rises, along with a protective impulse, so gentle it feels like light rainfall. I tighten my arm around your shoulders just slightly, reinforcing the cocoon. I've got you, I remind both of us. All night, if you need. The office clock near the microwave ticks to 1:04 a.m. Quiet and steady. In my lap, your hand stays laced with mine, thumb twitching as dreams settle in. I trace small infinity symbols across the back of your knuckles, anchoring you to calm. Eventually, I hush altogether, letting only breath and touch speak. When words return, they're a final, near inaudible lullaby. Sleep, sweetheart. Let tomorrow find us rested. Let dawn celebrate how far you've come. Silence gathers again, thick as velvet night. The city sleeps, the office sleeps, and here in our shared nook, cocooned by knit and trust, you drift deep. I stay watchful, pulse slow, ready to guard your rest until the world nudges us back toward morning. Your breathing has drifted into the slow, even cadence of true rest. Each inhale a sigh of cool night air. Each exhale a warm ribbon, easing through the quiet room. I keep one hand cradling the back of your head, fingertips feather light against your scalp, while the other strokes along your arm beneath the blanket. Up, pause, down, pause, never hurrying the rhythm that's guiding you deeper and deeper. The pendant lamp over us glows softer now, its amber halo shrinking as the bulb warms toward dawn-tired dimness. Somewhere far off, the building's elevator dings, doors sliding open for a janitor on another floor. The sound arrives muffled, wrapped in distance, then fades before it can touch this bubble of calm. I smile against your hair, letting the hush settle even thicker. Stay with the weightlessness. I whisper, voice a thread of breath. Float right here on the edge of dreams. I ease the blanket higher, skimming its star-flecked knit over your shoulder, gently cocooning you. My thumb draws a slow figure 8 just below your collarbone. One loop and another, easing what little tension might linger. Let me take care of the next breaths for you, I murmur. Just follow the sound. I breathe in deliberately, filling my lungs until my ribs expand against the soft cardigan. In, 2, 3, 4. I hold the quiet, letting it hum between us, then release with melting slowness. And out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I repeat the pattern, guiding you through 3 long cycles. Voice drifting lower until even numbers dissolve into soothing hushes. Outside, the rain has stopped. Water slides from the roof in shy drips, ticking like a gentle metronome on metal gutters. I imagine each drop carrying away a stray worry that tried to cling. Blink, gone. Blink, gone. Every sound outside this room is working for you, I whisper, lips brushing the shell of your ear. Everything out there is conspiring to keep you safe, to sing you deeper into rest. Your head sinks heavier against my chest, and I cradle it with both hands now, palms warm through your hair. Let the sofa cradle your hips, I coax. Let the cushion underneath your knees rise to meet them. Imagine soft moss under a night sky, supporting every inch of you. No need to hold yourself up. Gravity is kind here. I shift the cardigan sleeve, making sure it still hugs your back. The office aircon gives a final sigh, then stills altogether, as if recognizing we no longer need its hum. Silence swells, velvety and complete. I speak into it with a voice made of down feathers. The world is quiet, deadlines asleep, keyboards dreaming. You can dream too, sweetheart. I paint a scene, lower and slower. Picture gentle waves lapping a moon-white shore, each retreat carrying another knot of tension out to sea. Picture tall grasses swaying in a summer field, every blade whispering that you are loved, that you are worthy of peace. I let the images drift like lanterns on calm water, leaving silence between them so you can fill the gaps with your own half-dreams. Minutes slide by. Your breaths deepen into soft velvet seconds. I press a kiss to the crown of your head, tender, lingering, then rest my cheek there, letting your exhale warm the hollow of my neck. My hand finds yours beneath the blanket again, lacing our fingers in a loose, easy knot. You're safe. I repeat so quietly, it's more vibration than word. You're safe. You're safe. The office miss clock reaches 1:55 a.m. 5 minutes to 2, but time has loosened its grip. My voice drifts like the distant tide. I'll stay right here while you drift, I promise. Think of me as a nightlight, steady, gentle, never glaring. When thoughts flutter, turn toward this glow. I guide your hand to rest over my heartbeat, cover it with my own, and breathe a little slower still, so your pulse can mirror mine. When I sense the full weight of sleep settle, jaws slack, shoulders liquid, I soften my strokes to barely there brushes, each touch lighter than the thought of touch. You're doing so well, I whisper, a final lilt of praise. Even asleep, you're incredible. A long, quiet stretch passes. Breaths, heartbeats, the subtle settling of fabric. Then, with utmost delicacy, I tilt my head, letting my hair cascade to curtain the space just in front of your face. My lips hover at your temple for a moment, and I murmur, almost inaudible, there's one more secret I've been saving. I let the words hang, breath warm against your skin, an ember of promise in the sleeping dark. But I'll whisper it only if you follow me to Patreon. A faint smile curves my mouth. I press a barely there kiss to your temple. Meet me there
subscribe.